Hello, Interactions. Let me go ahead and share with you your Thanksgiving extra credit project that you can actually do over the break. And this is actually going to help us out after the break to go ahead and tell us more about static charges. What we're going to be building is an electroscope. Okay, and as you can see here. And what this comes in really handy for is helping us detect and find static charges that are out there. I'm going to teach you how to build one right now on your own using a few simple materials. See here, I have first of all a plastic or glass jar. I have some aluminum foil. Okay. I have scissors. Okay. I have also some wire. Okay, now this is a bit of copper wire. I would prefer if you can get it insulated, but, you know, if you can't, that's fine. You can also use paper clips, something metallic, you know. You can also use coat hangers, that too. And you're going to have to bend it into some shapes, so just be aware of how you're going to go ahead and do that. But basically, you're going to straighten this out. I like having it insulated in the middle so that there's no outside interference, but at the same time, you're going to go ahead and have to do stuff to the end, and I'll show you that in a moment. You're also going to need a pen and some tape, and last thing is some paper, okay? And I'm going to show you what to do with this in a moment. Alright, so let's go ahead and get building our electroscope. So, let's go ahead and get started. First thing is, I'm going to take my copper wire, or whatever type of wire you have. It could be, again, paper clips and whatnot. And I'm just going to take some time. Just be sure it's straightened out. So if you have a coat hanger, that works too. Maybe also a paper clip. And you see, I'm just taking some time straightening out the wire. Don't want it like majorly bent or anything. Okay. You have to be careful in this part. You don't want to break the wire or whatever you're going to be using. This is going to be our main conductor here. Okay. As for the gauge, you probably want something maybe a little thicker than I'm using, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and take the ends here. And I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to use my scissors, or if you have the proper tool. I'm going to go ahead and just strip the ends of the wire, so that way I can go ahead and gain some access here. And you should be able to just pull this off. And that way I have exposed copper here. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. That came off way easier. So now I have some exposed copper wire. Okay. Next thing, I'm going to go ahead and take my jar. And I'm going to also take my paper. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to flip my jar upside down. You probably know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to just trace out a circle. I'm going to do it close to the edge so that way it's easy to cut. And if I need another one, you know. Okay, there we go. And now I'm just going to go ahead and cut out the circle very quickly. Okay, and I'm not going to do anything with the circle just yet, but I want to have it here so that way I can show you a special part of the operation. Having a little more trouble than I expected. That's alright. So here you go. Here's your circle. What you need to do, though, is that you're going to punch it straight through the middle using your pen. Okay, so find the center, punch it, and the hole should be big enough for your copper wire to go through. Okay? See that? Okay, now, just to ensure that you know your copper wire does stop at the right place, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my wire, I'm going to bend it at 90 degrees here, okay? And so that it doesn't fall through, I'm going to go ahead and take it and bend it another 90 degrees going down. And then after, I'm going to go ahead and bend it another 90 degrees going up. You can do this as many times as you want to, but this actually allows you to create a flat surface on the wire. If you want to fold this over, you can. You can do it however you like, but you see, what this is going to do is actually prevent your wire from falling through the paper every time. So, notice, there we go. Actually, let me do it the other way. And you notice now it's stuck here. And I actually have a very firm foundation. I'm going to take a little bit of tape. Just a little bit. Boom. Alright, and then after I'm just going to go ahead and paste this down. And now I've kind of guaranteed that my thing will hold up. Okay. And you see now it's stuck there, and I got two pieces here. Okay. And this part is kind of tricky, so I do need you to watch closely. Here's my copper, right? I'm going to fold it into a very tight W shape. So I'm going to go ahead, part one, I'm going to bend it. Part two, maybe not that far in, maybe like there. Okay, and then part three, have the last part of that W shape, and I want it to be a tight shape, so, yeah, and I do want it to be as flat as possible, maybe not so badly. If you need to, go ahead, take your table, maybe pound it against a few times, and then after also, just be sure that you can go ahead and bend it nicely. Okay, and you see, now we have a very tight W, as you can see here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see it. It's a nice W. Okay. Now here's what I'm going to do with my W shape. This is where the aluminum foil comes in. I'm going to take your aluminum foil, you're going to take out some segments, and what you're going to do is eventually cut it out into a teardrop shape. Okay, and I want you to notice about this teardrop shape, it's just kind of big enough. I say maybe if you're it's about maybe 5 centimeters long, and then after 3 centimeters wide. It's big enough that you can go ahead and do stuff with. And you're going to need 2 of these. Okay? And that's what you're going to do with the aluminum foil. So you're going to have 1, 2. Going to go ahead and maybe just very quickly flatten them out against the table. Okay? If you want to see that then closer, what they look like. So just go ahead, flatten them out against the table as you need to. Okay. And because aluminum foil punctures easily, you're going to have to do the next step carefully, but going to your W, you're going to go ahead and take one of the leaves, okay? You're going to actually very carefully string it through here, okay? And you want to get in one to each bottom part of the W. So I'm going to go ahead and very quickly do this. Oops. Okay. You know, so once you puncture it, it's in. You gotta be very careful not to tear the aluminum foil or really bend it on its way out. Up and through, it's almost there. Come on, come on. Alright, there you go. And you see, I strung it through one end. I'm going to go ahead and do the same for the other. Alright, and there you go. Now, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to show you what's next. Go and get your jar, and now that these things are nicely set, you're going to go ahead and put this in. And you're going to take some tape. Cut this open. Okay. All right. And I'm just going to go ahead and seal this up so that way everything is nicely done. So you got it. You can see here. Yep. And I just wanted it to be fully sealed so that way my electroscope does not face some outside interference. So now you notice I have a fully sealed electroscope. Let's focus on the top part. This is where the rest of your aluminum foil is going to come in. You're going to crush it into a ball. Okay. And once you have that, find an opening. I'm going to puncture the ball with the wire. I'm going to go ahead and not go in so deep. You do want to have a little bit of this exposed. But now you notice you have a full electroscope. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now that we've gotten everything built, we can go ahead and do the hard part, which is testing out our electroscope. Obviously here I have my plastic bag. I got my hat here, hence the reason I was wearing it. Rub this furiously. Gonna just double check that it's charged, using our classic experiment. And I can see that yes, I am charged. I'm having a piece of aluminum foil. And what's going to happen is I'm going to hold this near to my electroscope. I'm going to notice that there will be a reaction. Okay. Now, if you really want to see this clearly, do the following procedure with me. You're going to go ahead and get your bag. And you're going to go ahead, going to approach, and you're going to hold that piece of exposed copper. Okay, and you're just going to hover the plastic bag right over it. Go ahead and take away the plastic bag, and then after go ahead and release your hold on the copper. If it's any movement, just wait for it to stop shaking. And then after you're going to go ahead and bring the plastic bag again, you're not going to touch it this time. And you should see that the leaves here will move quite dramatically as you bring the plastic bag nearby. You can see they're actually shaking every time I do. And that's how you work an electroscope. Okay, a home-built one. Actually pretty cool to use. And in class I'll be showing you how you're going to go ahead and take different objects to this, and we'll take a look and figure out more cool stuff with it. Have fun, maybe test out a few things around the house, I guess. If you feel charged, touch it and try to see what happens. So, yeah. It's a pretty cool thing. Go ahead and enjoy yourselves, guys. I'll see you later. Happy Thanksgiving.